talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe Roger to go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He get shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team, all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a Woozy. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing his thing for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samaji will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my faith and money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.
What do we say, Dolph?
That's right, they gotta play us. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. This is Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the back-to-back AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 2,172 subscribers. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel, Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button, hit the bell for notification, and every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you want to support the show, or if you have a question that you like Trags, Mike Petraglia, who's going to be my guest today, to answer, give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming from this glorious place down here, the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. So if you have, if you're looking for an apartment, a condo, a house, if you have a rental property you just don't want to deal with anymore, give T Properties a shot and they will take care of the rest. And you know it, I wear it every single day. I got in the background, we got the flag, we got the beer, we got the hats, we got the merchandise, all of it except for the beer. You can get it at jackpotjoey9.com. Portions of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund and the Joe Burrow Fund. We are also doing, I kind of teased this a little bit, we're doing the, hang on a second here, messing up my own show. Let me get that off there real quick. But we are doing the golf outing, which is, I'll get up here in a second. Where did it go? Right there. There it is, a golf outing. So the golf outing is sold out. But if you guys are interested and you have a business or you just want to support the golf outing, we are doing $100 hole sponsorships. So if you are a business out there that would like to sponsor a hole at the Jackpot Joey golf outing, now remember, 100% of the proceeds for this is going to the Joe Burrow Foundation. Everything. So if you want to be a part of this and sponsor a hole, get in touch with me. I'll get in touch with Maddie Myers for you, or you just DM Maddie Myers and we can get it going. But $100 for a whole sponsorship, like I said, all the money, every single bit of it is going to the Joe Burrow Foundation. So we're trying to help out Joe and the cause. So you guys can help us out as well by sponsoring a hole, because this gets big enough, we'll do it again next year or maybe later on this year. We're also talking about having a cornhole tournament here sometime soon. Let's get to the chat crew. What's up, everybody? Let's see here. I think Stranger was first. Yep, Stranger, you're first. Crypt Keeper, what's up? Brad, what's going on? Kevin, what's going on? Pork Chops in there. Keith, excuse me, Corey, my boy Keith, sorry. Corey, my boy. Next Level, what's up? Houday, Greg, Lindsay, Jeff's in there, and yep, Lindsay. All right, guys. So he has just popped into the waiting room. I'm so happy. And I love this dude because he always comes on the show for me. If you guys haven't read his article yet, you should. It's a great article. What are the Bengals going to do at 28? There's 5 different guys that Trags wrote about them. It's very detailed. Go check out his article. But let's get the mic right now. Trags, what's up, man?
Iceman, how are you, bud?
Good, brother. How you doing today?
So here's the deal. This is why I did what I did.
What's up?
Because everybody has a mock, right?
Right.
So my attitude was, instead of just doing a straightforward mock, do what everybody else does, who are 5 possibilities that they might take at that 28 spot and who might fall down to that position? I thought that would be a better take, or at least a different way of approaching it, because I don't know. I mean, everybody has a mock draft, and many people have excellent mock drafts, but I don't want to be like everybody else. Yeah, exactly, Jeff, exactly. And I wanted to kind of take the 40,000 foot view of everything and try to give the fan an idea of what the Bengals have to consider, because they're not just considering one player at one position, right? They have to take into account the whole roster. I do love the aspect of roster building. I don't like the whole NFL offseason per se and all of the hype and garbage and rumors that get thrown out there, unsubstantiated rumors.
It's a year-long season now.
I know, but this is crazy season. And people who know me on the beat know that I don't really suffer silliness that well. I just don't. But I like to try and give the fan and the consumer of our voluminous amount of material on the beat some perspective and give them an idea of, at least an idea of what the management is thinking when they go into a very critical time like the NFL draft.
Right, exactly. Now, do you have them? I don't know if you actually list them in a particular order, but this is where you had it in the article. You got Darnell Wright, Joey Porter Jr., Bijan Robinson, Michael Mayer, and Miles Murphy. Now, I've said this a couple times. I would be shocked if Bijan Robinson is there at 28, but if he's there, I'd have a hard time, if I'm the Bengals, not taking him. I mean, that's just the one out there that sticks out to me. I personally don't think he's going to get past Dallas or Philly, but hey, crazy things have happened. You never know, because NFL teams don't take a running back in the first round. But what's the likelihood of, if Bijan is there, of the Bengals taking him? Because we need a running back. I mean, we got what, 2 or 3?
Well, you've got 3, and your lead running back, your star running back, Joe Mixon, has a $12.9 million salary cap figure that I don't think the Bengals are comfortable with. As a matter of fact, I know they're not comfortable with. And they have to come to some type of agreement internally on how to address that. Do we really leave Joe Mixon on the roster at $12.9 million? Is the player anywhere close to that value? They like Joe Mixon. They think he is a terrific, despite everything that has happened in the offseason and all of the reports, they love what he has meant to as a leader inside that locker room. I've been in that locker room, and I can tell you, he is adored in that locker room, and he is well respected in that locker room, and he is a hard worker in that locker room. He is a lot of good things in that locker room. But at $12.9 million, you've got to have a lot more production than 3.4 yards a carry over the last 2 years. There's got to be more. There's got to be more explosive plays. And I think that is what the Bengals are struggling with right now. I think, the decision probably has already been made as to whether or not he is going to be a cap casualty. I think they are trying to let things play out organically and then go from there.
All right. So did you list these like as your 1 through
In
5, or you just put them
No,
out there? Okay. Okay.
I just put them out there, and I'm Iceman. I'm glad you brought that up because I put out 5 possibilities,
Right.
because I have no idea how the Bengals internally view these players. And what I caution every fan out there, when they read mocks,
Mhm.
you have to not only know which players do they like, but what is their grade on each particular player? How many people inside an organization like player A? How many people like player B? And how many people like player C? And then after that, there might be a couple of other players on their, top 5, 6, 7 board that they're evaluating. But you don't know what their grading system is. You don't know the metrics of their evaluation.
Oh, it should just tell us to make it a lot easier.
No, it would. It certainly would. It would also make it a lot easier for the other 31 teams in the National Football League.
Just tell you and me.
Why they don't do it. Now, that's why they don't do it.
Right. Exactly.
But I put out 5 names that to me make a lot of logical sense. That if any of these players were taken at 28, I think Bengal fans would be fairly happy, and in some cases elated that they got that particular player. I tried to ballpark where they would fall in the first round, perhaps second round, because that's obviously where the Bengals are picking.
Right.
And then with that kind of projection, I took one player and said, okay, let's Darnell Wright. Would he fit for the Bengals? Well, I think he would. Yeah. I think he'd be as I wrote, 6'5", 333 pounds. He's a 4-year senior. He is a guy that has matured in college, something that the Bengals have historically really appreciated and given value to. And he's coming off a terrific year in 2022. His most recent resume film had him not giving up a sack at Tennessee and had him handling Alabama's Will Anderson, arguably, a top 3-4 prospect in the draft, very well in their meeting in 2022. So there's a lot to like about Darnell Wright.
Yeah, I like Darnell Wright a lot. I mean, honestly, if he's there, I think the Bengals should take him. Now I have a question with this whole thing with Jonah Williams going from left to right, and if he's willing to do it or not. I wonder how much of a factor that would be in their decision. Let's just throw it out there. Just say Darnell Wright and either Bijan Robinson or Michael Mayer are there, and Jonah has said he's going to play right tackle or whatever, but Jonah's probably gone after next year no matter what. So you're back to the same position you were, and trying to find a right tackle. Where do you think the Bengals would go between Darnell Wright, Bijan, and Michael Mayer?
Bijan Robinson. I think, if you throw those 3, if you take Bijan Robinson out of the mix, I think they go Michael Mayer.
Okay. And that's with Jonah. And that's where, I mean, I've because a couple weeks ago, Jonah came out and said he didn't want to play right tackle. And we haven't heard a whole lot about that lately. And I keep saying,
but he says that.
Right.
He says that, Ice. But he also understands he has 0 leverage.
That's what I've been saying. Right.
With the Bengals. He has no leverage.
Right.
So he has to get his $12.8 million, that, the 5th-year rookie option, the 5th-year option that he has in his rookie contract, he has to play this year. He can't hold out or he doesn't get paid.
Right.
And nobody is going to advise him to do that at this point of his career.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've said. And that's where I've kind of like at the beginning of this, I'm like, we got to get a right tackle. I still would like to, because like I said, I think Jonah will be gone after this year, but I keep going back. I can't get this out of my head. If Bijan is there, and I'm not a guy that says you take a running back in the first round, but when it's a guy like Bijan, I mean, he's like Saquon Barkley. He can do everything that the Bengals need him to do. So he would be,
I agree,
a perfect running back for the Bengals in this system.
And he's an RPO back.
Yes.
I mean, he played in an RPO system, so he would be, fit right in. He could do a lot of things. He could run, obviously. He can pass catch very well. Doesn't have a great catch radius per the scouting reports, but certainly he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he can do a lot of those things. Certainly, as a rookie in the NFL, he would have a thing or two to learn about picking up blitzes, but he did that respectably with Texas. So, I think as a pure talent, Bijan Robinson is one of the elite talents in that first round. If you're talking about offensive prospects, I'll tell you the one guy that intrigues me if he gets to them, but I don't think he will, is Joey Porter Jr. And the reason I say Joey Porter Jr. is because we know how valuable wide receivers are.
Right.
We know how valuable shutdown corners are, and guys who could project as big time cornerbacks in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey Porter is long. He's 6'2". He's lanky, and he's got He's got press man coverage skills, and those don't grow on trees. And
Right.
while they certainly obviously love Cheeto Awuzie, and I think there's a lot of reason to like what Cam Taylor-Britt brought to the table as a rookie last year.
Right.
And you get a shot at Joey Porter Jr., I think you look long and hard at that pick if he comes to you.
Right, exactly. And personally, another reason I would like it is I would love to see his dad have to dress up in orange and black and come to the stadium
Yeah.
and cheer for the Bengals.
Don't think that didn't cross my mind. Actually, you know what, Iceman? I might go back and put that in, because that was part of my thinking that would be a great storyline. And that is sort of why that name popped out to me on a Bengals mock.
Right.
I think it would be hilarious.
I think it'd be freaking hilarious because he mocked us so bad. Oh, I can't stand his dad. But anyway, I would be all for that. All right. So now you put Miles Murphy in there instead of I always forget the kid's name because Mel Kiper keeps having the safety from Alabama coming to us. And his name slips my mind. So that's the one I was kind of surprised you put him in there instead of the safety. Why Murphy?
Because he visited, and I think it's fresh on everybody's mind, and because I'll tell you why. Because of Trey Hendrickson. Because does Trey Hendrickson get to the final year of his contract, or is he a cap casualty? That is a big, big number with not a lot of dead money. I think it's $2.9 million dead money in his final year of the contract. And if they get a guy that they think might be able to give them some real good production along with Osai and, of course, Hubbard, they have to think long and hard about that, right? And that's why I put him in there. But I'm going to tell you another name, and it's not first round. This is not somebody at 28 whatsoever.
Right.
But Ivan Pace Jr., to me, the Bearcat player, the linebacker.
Now you're talking my language now, Trags.
Okay. I could see him playing safety in the National Football League. And he's got that speed. He can obviously he can tackle.
Yeah.
He plays with an incredibly high motor. There is some concern about his discipline on the field. We saw that a couple of times in his senior year last year. But he is somebody that intrigues me. And if he were available on late day 2, early day 3, I'd love to see the Bengals go after a guy like that and see what they could see. What a guy like that, if he plays with discipline in Lou Anarumo's defense, boy, he is a weapon. He really is a weapon.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his, but I mean, I'm a Bearcat, so that goes to say. Now, Kevin Harry's got a question, and I think it's about Joey Porter Jr. He said, can we put him in the slot?
I don't know enough. I'm going to say I don't know, but I think, with a guy like that, fans are going to think of Trey Flowers. Is Trey Flowers coming back? There's a chance he could, but I think they'd probably be more likely to put Cam Taylor-Britt in the slot and put a guy like Joey Porter, if he's a true lockdown corner, like we saw. People are going to say, well, he's a rookie, they're not going to expose him and put that kind of responsibility on him. Well, if he can handle it, and wouldn't you want a guy with longer arms and terrific speed to play on the outside and maybe put Cam Taylor-Britt inside? You want Lou Anarumo to have those decisions to make.
Yes.
And yes, Mike Hilton's still on the roster, and yes, he's still your starting nickel.
Yes.
But in terms of, let's say they want to go more with, nickel coverage or even quarters, put 6 defensive backs on the field at once. That's not out of the realm of possibility. you would like Lou Anarumo to have those options available to him if they went in that direction. I just think, if the Bengals are going to put the money in re-signing T. Higgins and Jamar and obviously Joe, and I think they're going to extend Logan Wilson. I think that does get done. I've felt that way all along. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that does happen. Then they're going to have to hit big on rebuilding the defense with draft picks. They're going to have to do that. And, I just think that is the direction this draft is headed. Look, if their offensive tackle falls to them and they see the guy that they have ranked highest on the board and it's Darnell Wright, then they go Darnell Wright. But I like where the Bengals are at 28. They're going to have a lot of terrific options and a lot of good choices, hard choices to make, and that's not a bad place to be.
Exactly. Now, you brought up T. Higgins' contract. Now, Zim has come out and said, the weekend or whatever, that he thinks is coming soon. I mean, nothing's happened yet. I even DM'd T's mom, and she doesn't know anything. So, what are you hearing about T's contract right now?
Nothing more than what Zim tweeted out there, and I'm going to leave that one be because I just don't know. I haven't heard anything back from the people I contacted. So I think they've gone dark, and hopefully maybe that's a sign that they're trying to finish up the negotiations. But I will tell you, when I saw Zim's tweet, my eyebrows were raised because we all know David Mulugeta and we know the reputation with the Bengals. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be surprised if that deal gets done, because that would be a first for the Bengals and David Mulugeta. And that would, to me, indicate that the Bengals have really shown T. Higgins the money. I know they love the player. I don't think anybody watching this program right now and this podcast now doubts that the Bengals don't love T. Higgins. It's at what price? Right. And can they get Joe Burrow done? I mean, look, the priority is getting Burrow done. I mean, I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you don't have Joe Burrow, T. Higgins doesn't matter.
Right.
And the Bengals know that. And I think the Bengals have an idea of where they're sitting at with Joe Burrow, at least in the first 2 years. Certainly, it was Duke Tobin saying that at the combine, the NFL combine in Indianapolis, that they have a good idea of what the first 2 years are going to look like in any Burrow extension. So that, to me, indicated that was a very good sign. That if that is the case, and he's coming out and publicly acknowledging that, which he did, then I think it's a matter of if, not, it's a matter of when, not if.
When, not if.
With Joe Burrow. Yeah.
I agree with you on that. That's why I was surprised when Zim came out with that, saying T's is if they get T's done before Burrow, I'll be shocked, because one, I thought Burrow would come first. Plus, I
wouldn't
agent. So
I would not be as shocked, because they probably, all of these pieces are kind of working as a clock, a grandfather clock. They all have to be meshed together to work together. Mm-hmm. So, when you're talking about T. Higgins, you are talking about Joe Burrow. When you're talking about Joe Mixon, you are talking about Joe Burrow and the cap ramifications. When you're talking about Orlando Brown Jr., you're talking about Joe Burrow. It all works together, correct? Right. So I think that's the way you kind of look at the Joe Burrow extension.
I want to give a shout out. I got a birthday here. It's my birthday week, so I got to give a shout out here to Charles. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to you, Charles. I don't have any shirts on me right now. They're all online, so you got to go to checkmyjoey9.com. I don't have any to give away, but if I did, I'd send you one. I don't have.
Are you talking about Brian Branch, the safety out of Alabama, by the way?
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. Yes, that's who I'm
okay. Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. But I believe I wrote, let's see if I what did I say about it?
It would help if I wrote the guy's name down so I could remember, but
no. I wrote under some assumptions here.
Okay.
And my assumption about the linebacker position, where did I write that? I can't find it right now. I'm sorry about that. See if I can.
I mean, just as far as the Bengals history goes, they're not scared to draft safeties or cornerbacks in the first round. So that's where it wouldn't surprise me if they go that direction, especially if, say, the offensive lineman, tackle, running back is gone, that they, had ranked higher. So excuse me, that's why I keep trying to tell Bengals fans that don't be surprised if it's a DB that they draft, either cornerback or safety. That, like I said, that would not surprise me one bit. I mean,
Well, I just the reason I don't think they would do the safety is they have Nick Scott, they
Right.
have Tyson. People are forgetting Tyson Anderson. I think they have to know what they have in Tyson Anderson because.
but do they? I mean, he's hurt almost all year. That's my thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean that doesn't mean they don't value him.
Oh yeah. No, I know they value him, but just if they know what he can, is it going to translate? Did they find out enough? I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think they're with the kind of depth that they have in the safety room right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think unless an absolute stud comes to them and they're higher on their board than we know,
Right.
And we're not inside that room, of course, then I think, we have to assume that they have needs elsewhere. With elite talent that they would probably address before safety. But again, I'm spitting spitballs here. So.
Yeah, it's April, man. We're we're all spitting spitballs right now, trying to find out what they're going to do. Now, one news that we had that came out, which I thought was surprising. Now, it's not Bengals news, but it's Ratbirds news. Which, if you know Ratbirds, it's
I do.
Is OBJ signed with them, which I'm surprised because I'm like, okay, you don't have a quarterback, but to me that makes me think that Lamar's coming back. I would think him and. Apparently Lamar recruited OBJ, so it sounds like Lamar's coming back and Odell Beckham's coming back, and Ratbirds fans are coming at Bengals fans like, oh, we're going to run the North and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm still not scared. I mean, because yes.
No, and I saw the Craig the Carton.
That guy, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of Bengal fans reacted vociferously. They reacted passionately to Carton's
they did
analysis
what he wanted them to do.
Correct. And I am not of the belief that the Bengals are shaking in their boots because of it. The bank. Look, if in the end, would you rather have what the Ravens have on offense or what the Bengals have on offense?
I'll take the Bengals. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. Is that really a question?
Right. No, exactly. And I'm not saying that we're going to go out there and smash the Ratbirds at all. I mean, it's going to be a good, hard-fought football game. Like, it's an AFC North battle. It's not that I'm saying we're going to blow them out, but I'm not scared of them at all.
No. And, the Bengals are built not to be scared of anybody. The Bengals are built now to be the ones with the bullseye on their backs, and they know that that's coming. And everybody's going to say, aren't you scared now of this team and that team and the other team? And, this is the way it was in New England. Every year, some team would make a move like this, grab the headlines, and, Patriots better be shaking in their boots now. And they're like, they've got Tom Brady, they've got Bill, they've got an organization that knows how to put together a roster year in and year out. I'm telling you, and they don't have the ring yet, but you see a lot of similarities between the way the Bengals roster build and the way the Patriots roster build. I will tell you, I think the Bengals are more committed at this point of their quarterback's era than the Patriots even were. I think the Patriots built around a stalwart defense in their first years of the dynasty. And I think the Bengals are trying to get there. They're almost there.
Right.
And I told people a lot watching the 2022 Bengals that defense, the 2022 Bengals, reminded me a lot of the early 2000s Bengals, Patriots defenses.
Right.
Very, very similar.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of getting a ring, Teddy K was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today, and I saw some excerpts of it, and he's basically – they were asking kind of the same thing. You played with Tom Brady and everything. What's, Joe Burrow like? And he's like, Joe Burrow's a killer, and Ted is consumed or he can't wait. And Pat McAfee even said that Cincinnati's going to get a ring, and the emphasis on the players, and same with Teddy K, is to get that ring. And I love hearing that's the focus here in Cincinnati, is to get the ring, and everybody expects us to get that eventually.
Well, that's where you want the expectation to be. And I think the Bengals they're a better team right now than they were at the end of last season. Yes, they lost their 2 safeties and they lost a tight end. But if you're telling me, did the Bengals address areas that needed to be addressed along the offensive line? They absolutely did that. Now they have options along the offensive line, especially if they draft another tackle. And then, if they get a deal done with T, if they get Joe re-signed, they've already shown a willingness to bring back one of their star linebackers in Jermaine Pratt.
How surprised were you about that one?
A little bit. I was a little bit surprised, but Pratt came back to them at a price that they could afford.
Right.
And they were like, okay, well, if you're willing to do that, we'd love to have you back.
Right.
He knows the system. He's a terrific downhill linebacker, and he knows how to make big plays. I mean, I cannot tell you how impressed I was with the play he made on Travis Kelce.
We shut the ball
at Paycor.
That changed the whole game. That play won the game for him.
Yeah, and frankly should have been an even bigger play in the context of the postseason, but unfortunately that did not materialize. And I do believe if that Bengals Chiefs game was at Paycor, I think the Bengals would have won that game. I really do believe.
Completely agree with you. That's what's got to happen this year. Now, I know people in the chat were talking about the offensive line, and to me, it still cracks me up that people are like, "We got to fix the offensive line. We got to fix the offensive line." I'm like, "We did." I'm like, if Jonah Williams goes from left to right, what else do we need to fix? I mean, and I actually think right now, the way it is right now, we have the most depth at offensive line that we've ever had since Burrow's been here. I would like them to get another backup center who could play guard as well. I think that'd be a nice piece. But with Cody Ford and Akiva Denji and Jax Carman and on and on and on, all these guys that are all backups that can play multiple positions, I think I'm always going to want to improve the offensive line. Don't get me wrong, but I think our offensive line is actually better than what some Bengals fans think it is right now.
I would agree with that. I certainly think the Bengals are feeling like they could handle what happened at the end of last year better now than they did when it happened in the last 3 weeks of the season. And that was the lesson, right? That's why the Orlando Browns junior signing happened, is because the Bengals were caught short. They just didn't have enough depth, and they knew it when they had, catastrophic injuries happen in back-to-back weeks.
Right.
There's not a lot they could do. When you lose your right tackle, then your right guard, and then Teddy K gets injured in Buffalo. I mean, there aren't a lot of teams, period, that could handle that. And then Jonah obviously dislocates his kneecap again. Correct. When all of that happens, there aren't many teams in the NFL, period.
And they still almost won.
And they still almost won. That's correct. And so I think, Bengal fans who have been chirping, rightfully so, about the offensive line, I think the team is in a much better position now. There are holes to fill that they can, I think, address in the draft. They'll go about trying to do that. But if you're asking me, have the Bengals addressed a lot of needs throughout free agency up to this point? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I've said this. I think they've got a very solid offseason. Now, one thing I would still like to see them do is I don't think they've really replaced Larry O or, the backup for BJ Hill. Now, it could be Zach Carter. Maybe he takes a step this year. I don't know. That's one thing just in the Kansas City game that I know I've had Coach Cam on here a lot, and his big thing is trying to get Patrick Mahomes down. And what I noticed a lot in that game was we were getting pressure from the outside, but not a whole lot up the middle. And I think that's where we strive to that a little better earlier in the year.
Well, I mean, there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the technique and scheme. One thing is you can get your nose tackle upfield a little bit more, but if you do that, are you leaving lanes for Patrick Mahomes to run up? Because
Right.
he obviously can do that. And even with the banged up ankle, they still didn't want, or their running backs, they didn't want their running backs running left and right all over them like they did in Cincinnati in November when they just ran roughshod over the Bengals defense. So I think that was a decision by Lou Anarumo. Keep the middle of the defense stout. Don't give them any running lanes. And when you do that, you sacrifice a little bit of pass rush, at least from your tackles.
Right. Holmes here's got a question for you, Trax. He says, Trax, do you feel that Orlando Brown will live up to the hype, or will be a disappointment, kind of like La'el Collins was earlier this season?
No, I mean, take a look at the tape and take a look at what Orlando Brown's done the last couple of years with Kansas City. And, there are people who say, well, why didn't Kansas City give him that money? And I think it just came down to they have a lot of it locked up in Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and they have other roster decisions to make. And they decided that Orlando Brown was expendable. I think the Bengals are coming in and taking advantage of another team's lack of flexibility in the salary cap space. Because if you take a look, he was a stud left tackle in protecting Patrick Mahomes' blind side. That's good enough for me. And, I don't have the numbers right off the top of my head, Ice, but, he had a very, very good season protecting Patrick Mahomes.
And he's durable. I mean, I don't think he's missed a game in like 3 years or something like that, I heard. So that's one good thing that we haven't had. Because, I mean, like we said earlier, you said that's the reason we lost last year because there were injuries on our offensive line. Well, honestly, it's one of the reasons we lost the year before that because our right tackle, Riley Reef, was injured going into the Super Bowl. So we've had this injury problem and backup, not enough depth on our offensive line since Joe Burrow's got here. So this is – it was a huge get to get Orlando Brown. And I mean, my concern is hopefully Jonah can go to right tackle and he's got his knees because they did do surgery on his knees or to try to stabilize his kneecaps. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
So hopefully Jonah will be stable at right tackle. We'll have a stable left tackle and healthy. Dude, I think we got the whole thing AFC runs through Cincinnati. I don't until somebody takes it from us, I think.
Well, I mean, in Kansas City, I mean, they're the defending champions, and as long as they have Mahomes upright, I mean, it's Kansas City, then it's Cincinnati,
right,
and still Buffalo. Though I think they might be a team to look at to take maybe a bit of a step backwards. I'm not saying they're going to fall off the face of the earth by any stretch. Right. Still think they're the best team in that division. But the Jets are on the come. There's no doubt about that. They get a quarterback. They get Aaron Rodgers. If that ever happens, they are legit.
The AFC is just stacked, but still, we're still the champs right now. Well, second champs, whatever you call it. Anyway, real quick, one more question. I'll get you out of here. It was more of a statement, and I think it's cracked me up. Is next level says I like how the Chiefs fans are trashing Orlando now. I had so many of them. I mean, I did a video of me driving past the stadium. Cheered like, yeah, we got Orlando Brown. I didn't tag the Chiefs. I just being silly. I had so many Chiefs fans come in like, oh, he's horrible. He's terrible. I'm like,
of course they're going to say that.
I was laughing. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, you're just pissed that he signed with us and not you.
Well, I mean, let's look at this a couple of ways. Yes, the Chiefs were not able to keep him. So, by logic, some people would argue, Chiefs fans would argue, well, if he wasn't good enough for us, and we won the Super Bowl, don't you think we would have kept them if we could have? My logic would be, you think the Bengals would spend $31 million guaranteed up front on a guy that they didn't have full confidence in could be a franchise left tackle? I don't think so. So that's kind of my comeback to fans that have that read of that situation. I think he's going to be good. I think the Bengals expect him to be solid, dependable. I don't think they expect him to have the kind of issues that La'el Collins did, gearing up and ramping up to the season with the back issues and whatnot. And I think there were many more question marks that La'el Collins had to answer in the offseason before he ever played a snap with the Bengals. that Orlando Brown Jr. He does not have those same questions.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
answer.
Exactly. Before I get you out of here, I just want to say thanks for coming on again. I know you said you'd come on for our draft show whenever you get a chance, so I appreciate that. Plug your podcast, your article, and everything else before I let you go there, Trags.
All right. Jungle Roar Pod on YouTube is where you can download and watch all of my Jungle Roar podcasts, as well as Bengals multimedia clips and whatnot. You can also follow me on Twitter at Trags, Trags, and of course on clnsmedia.com.
Yeah, you had it. Your podcast was really good. The last one you did, you had my boys Sam and Scott. I had them on the week before I went on vacation. The book is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I only got excerpts of it. I haven't got the actual book yet, but I'm getting it. But Sam is cool as hell. Sam is awesome. I'm going to go to the Dog Pound and check that place out. That looks so cool.
In Athens. So actually it's in not Athens, but
Plains.
Technically the Plains.
Yep.
That's correct.
Thank
you,
Jeff,
Iceman.
He's like, Jeff, we're in the Plains. We're not in Athens. We're in the Plains. I'm like, all right. I don't know the difference.
I got corrected within 30 seconds of the podcast getting underway. I got corrected.
Right,
so
exactly.
you know that.
Well, I got corrected. I kept calling it the Doghouse. He's like, no, it's not the Doghouse. I'm like, all right, so Dog Pound. My bad. So, but Sam's awesome. So, if you guys missed Trags' interview with them, go check it out. If you missed mine, go check that out too. Anyway, Trags, I appreciate you. I'll see you draft week, buddy.
Sounds good, Ice. Take care.
You too, buddy. Hooday. All right, guys. Trags is awesome. If you guys do not follow this dude, you're missing out. He does a great job on all his articles, his podcasts, everything. And like I said, I really appreciate because almost anytime I ask him to come on, he comes on the show and gives me plenty of time and great information. So make sure you guys go check out Trags on his article. Like I said, I tweeted out earlier, and his podcast as well. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And I appreciate every single one of them. They are Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. And then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under sports with, I said sports, I did it again. Bengals Talk. I just look up Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trenopole. That's right there. And if you're watching on YouTube, right there, that's my Twitter handle. TikTok is at Iceman90. I'll be pulling a sound off later on tonight, putting on the podcast. It'll be on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Leave a comment and a 5-star review so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. YouTubers, you guys are awesome. I'm up to 2,172 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. Like I said, we got the Jackpot Joey golf outing coming up. We are going to hopefully have a big check. We're hoping to be able to donate $10,000 to the Joe Burrow Foundation. That is our goal. Can you help us out? We need the thing sold out. We need more hole sponsors. So if you guys have a business, or you know somebody has a business, or you just want to sponsor a hole, it's $100 a hole. That's it. So if you could help us out by doing that, that would be awesome. Like I said, it's all going to a great cause, the Joe Burrow Foundation. So we're helping people out. Go have some fun. There's going to be baskets there. We'll be raffling off. We're doing a 50-50 split the pot, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a great time. So if you're not playing, you come out and hang out, hang with me. I'm not golfing because I suck at golf because people who actually play golf on this thing want to actually win. So I won't be there, or I won't be there playing golf because I have no shot at winning. Now, if we do a cornhole tournament, which that's another one we might be doing, then I got a shot at winning. So we'll see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, Willie Lutz will be on the show tomorrow, so we can pick his brain about Darnell Washington, pick his brain about 28. Maybe we got a T. Higgins contract signing, maybe a Joe Burrow signing. Who knows? Just a heads up, I will not be doing a show Friday. Friday is my birthday, so I got 2 more shows this week. We don't have a guest Thursday yet, working on that, but Wednesday's Willie Lutz, Thursday working on one. Friday, I'll be at the Reds game, enjoying some cold beverages, hanging out at the banks, and hopefully watching the Reds win. One thing that is irritating about this Reds team is it's reminding me of 2021, where they win, and the bullpen can't hold it. I am already tired of the bullpen not being able to hold leads. It is frustrating to watch this team fight and scratch and claw, and the bullpen comes in and blows it. I didn't expect us to win a lot this year, but damn it, I wish you could at least win the games you're supposed to win. If you got the lead, your team comes back, fights back, and wins, at least have a bullpen that's capable of holding a lead. That would be nice. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe right to the go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He get shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a Woozier. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing the same for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samaji will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my favorite money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.